soon?
Yeah. There we go. What is going on, everybody? Hello, and welcome back to On the Pipe podcast. Today is Tuesday, April the 28th, 2026, years after zero. I'm your host, as always, Tyler Shepardson, and you're joining us just in time for another episode of OTP Tuesday. Tonight, we're going to have Joey Crown on, who went out there and won JDay overall on, what else? A Yamaha. He got it done working with Club MX. We're going to hear a little bit about him, hear his story, and hear about how his weekend went. So we're going to talk to him in just a little bit. I got Big Rig Craig and Big Tom here in the studio with us. What's going on, boys?
What's up?
Yo. And as always, we are presented by Yamaha USA. We got the Yamaha right here on the mixing board that was turned off when we started the show, but we got it dialed in now. This weekend, I will be making my 4x4 quad racing debut. That is right. I know we talked about it before. Last time it was talked about, it was kind of like through the motorcycle guys, like, hey, would you want to do this? I said, hey, yeah. Turns out, needed to schedule it with the four-wheeler guys. So now, the four-wheeler guys and myself. He's actually going to race with me. Newbie and I are going to be racing this weekend on some Grizzly 700s. I'm super pumped up about it. I was watching some GoPro footage of Old Gray last year. A little bit scared about the rocks. You know what I mean? That dirt bike, if it tips over, you just fall down, and then that's it. Quad, you tip over, it comes chasing you down. A little bit nervous, but either way, it should be a pretty fun experience. Big Tom is going to be back to racing action this weekend. You're racing the Old Gray, man. You pumped up? You excited about it?
I am. It's been a while. Rode this past weekend up at Silver Creek, seen old Tebow.
The Intimidator.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've been riding. Definitely ain't been at a GNCC racing this year, but yeah, never been up there. I'm excited. We've been prepping the camper. Got new tires on the camper. We're good to go. Jack don't work. Have to manual jack that thing.
Just got to
use a drill, maybe up top.
Just jack it off sometimes.
But no, I'm excited.
First you got to jack it on, then you got to jack it off.
Hey, they got some rain today.
Oh, yeah.
Some rain today. Maybe a little bit more rain this weekend. I'm sure it's needed.
Saw Chris Landers put out a post say that they got just the perfect amount of rain. It even rained here today. I feel like it's been forever since we've seen the rain.
Yesterday and today was awesome.
It was nice. I mean, honestly, when I got this morning, right when I got to work, it started raining. I was like, shit. I don't miss this.
I can't wait to mow
nice.
grass and there not be dust everywhere.
Oh, dude, you better do it today or tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I think we got more coming.
More rain coming?
No shit.
I think so.
I'll just keep waiting, bud. I got all day. I got all week.
And then I think it's supposed to rain all day Saturday here. Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
One of the two. But
So
yeah,
Sunday,
I got
locals might be a mutter at the training grounds.
Might cancel.
Oh yeah.
As big of a drought that
It could take it.
As big of a drought that we've had,
it.
I don't think it'd be hard to turn anywhere into a mutter.
Yeah.
You need a lot of water.
Training grounds like some water.
You could probably turn Denver into a motor pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, piss in the parking lot.
Yeah, 70% tomorrow and 83 on Saturday here.
What's it looking like over at Old Gray? You guys?
I got it.
For the weekend?
Man, I got it saved. Let's
Perfect.
Look
No rain for the weekend. Going to be
Cool.
about 60 degrees.
Cool temps.
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, a little bit of chance of rain tomorrow, and then we're high 63 and 64. Ooh, 36 Saturday night.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
At 5 to 6 degrees, you got a party.
I think 11 o'clock Saturday morning I looked, and it's going to be like low 50s.
Oh yeah.
while I'm throwing a leg over the old grizzly, getting ready
Man,
to go.
I'm jealous.
Are you gonna wear some overalls so you can get the overall? Because this is
I
probably
might.
the last GNCC you ever raced. I think we should talk about uniform here. I think maybe a set of Carhartts or some Liberties from Tractor Supply.
Yeah. I don't know. You got that would be that might be the move to make.
Is it a
Throw
camo?
a Yamaha t-shirt on, a little overall action going on.
Camo grizzly or is it blue or what is it?
I want to say they're like white and red. I don't know. They've raced them a couple times, but I think it's all new to me. It's all going to be a surprise.
Man, so they got more than one?
Yeah.
Yeah, talk to your boy and see. Hook a brother up.
Yeah.
See if
Also,
we can do
so Newbie, the guy who, basically the guys that I work with Yamaha, he is their equivalent on the four-wheel side of things for like 4x4s and quads and ATVs and stuff. So he's actually racing too.
Okay.
So he's coming up, and it's going to be me and him going after it. So it'll be pretty sick.
Man, the last time we had a buddy race Fuller, Tyler, when he did it, somehow they gave him number 1 helmet sticker.
Really?
So top that.
Dang.
001.
Jeez.
Hell yeah.
So I raced a sport quad. It was a Yamaha YFZ 450 at Camp Coker a few years ago. Cameron Aby let me ride his practice quad, and I couldn't keep my hand like the way that he's a big dude, like tall and lanky. And so I don't know if he had a different throttle on that thing or what, but I could not hold the handlebar and reach the thumb throttle. And so I had to, I remember that. So basically, just my fingertips were on the handlebar, and I was stretching out to reach the throttle. And every time I hit a bump, either my thumb would come off the throttle or my hand would come off the handlebar. So I think the Grizzly, we're going to be dialed. We got four-wheel drive. We're going to be in there comfortable, get my thumb pump going, and should be dialed.
Your hand's going to hurt like a bitch.
Dude, that's what I was thinking. It's been a long time since I've raced, so make it through 2 hours, and then I got to start work on Sunday and ride around all day on Sunday. I feel like I'm going to be hurting.
There's going to be some complaining going on next Tuesday. I'm going to give everybody a forewarning right now.
Yeah, I'm going to be sitting here stiff as a board, not able to move around, but probably have some good stories to tell.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of stories, how do you share something to your story on Instagram now?
Hit the little share button, click add to story.
It's not there.
Oh, they might be private. Oh, right there. Add a
there
story. Speaking of good stories, this past weekend, somehow me and Craig and I managed to weasel our way into somewhere where, Craig, I don't want to speak for you, but I felt like we shouldn't have been.
We absolutely shouldn't have been there. And you guys don't know what's going on yet, but Cody Groves was also there, and he was wearing sweatpants this whole time. And as the story keeps going, you'll understand why that's almost like probably shouldn't have wore sweatpants. So continue.
Yeah, no. So it was funny. So we were just talking. I was talking with Stu, and I think we talked about it on here about like the K-Dub, Pond Skim, going to Pastrana Land, Vegas to Reno. Like, I look back, and a lot of the cool stuff I've done has been in and related around with Stu. And he calls me I think like Thursday or Friday. He said, "Hey, so I know we're limited on off weekends. You got an off weekend coming up. You probably got plans, but I have a ticket to get into the president's box, president's suite, and pit passes to Talladega if you want to go." And I said, "Yeah, I think I want to go." But my little sister, shout out Abby, she's moving to Oregon like next week to go count fish for Noah. So we had her
Noah's Ark.
Yeah, Ark, yeah.
NOAA.
Oh,
National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. They're the ones that, like, track the tides and do all sorts of stuff. Apparently track fish too. But
how do you keep a count on fish?
She's going out.
Like, do they put collars and tags
ankle
on
monitor, just like him fellows who
I mean, like deers, right? Deers and birds and stuff. You see like little anklet monitors or tags on the ears or whatever.
Jewelry.
Yeah, how do they do that to a fish?
That's the same shit you see over there at the county jail.
So she's gonna be going out on like commercial fishing boats and whatever they catch, she's got to log it and track it. From what I understand.
What happens if they catch the same fish twice?
Well, I think they just
repeat offender.
Like, do they brand the fish? Maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't think they're branding shit.
I think they're just worried about what's coming up. Either way, not the most interesting part of this story. although it is pretty interesting. Congratulations, Abby. Love you. So her party was Saturday night, and I was like, well, how Talladega's 6-hour drive, how can we get there? Craig, building hours, we talk about it on the podcast. We kind of joke back and forth about not riding with you. Now rode with you. So call Craig, hey, what are you doing this weekend? You want to fly to Talladega? Had to okay it through Stu, roundabout sort of way. Someone else that was supposed to go to Talladega, I think from GNCC, ended up backing out. So we got an extra spot. So Cody Groves and Stu, we couldn't fit 4 in the airplane, so they drove. And Craig and I flew out there. I was a little bit nervous. I know we talk on the Plains podcast. It happens every week out here. So Saturday, Craig, oh, man, I'm kind of scared of what Craig's going to have to say about this trip. But Saturday, I was like, dude, I don't know. Like, I'm nervous. Need to figure this thing out. Let's go on a little test flight. What are you doing? So my little sister's party was in Concord, like the other side of Concord. So drove down to Lake Norman Airport, and Craig flew me to Concord Regional Airport.
7 minutes. it's literally, yeah.
It's like an up and
Throw
down.
a baseball 3 times and you're hitting the tower. So just a quick flight to just make sure he didn't have any bad nerves and like he wasn't going to freak out, because if you're going to leave Sunday morning for this NASCAR race and, something occurs like a freak out or anxiety attack because he thinks I'm going to kill him, it seems like a smart idea just to get it out of the way Saturday so you don't, ruin your Sunday. You can still go to church Sunday, So just take him over to Concord, make sure that he feels comfortable. And you did. Everything was good Saturday, I believe. You didn't. It seemed like you had any issues. And for some of you guys who might know, I'm not an instrument pilot yet, so I can't fly, and the plane I'm flying can't fly through bad clouds. So Sunday morning, I have to go. Coincidentally, I work for Checker Flag Aviation. I go up to Statesville and fuel a jet for Keselowski. So I'm over there fueling. It's actually a Penske rig. Talking to those guys, I'm like, hey, that's crazy. I'll see you in like 3 hours. Like, where are you going? I said, I'm going to Talladega. This where you flying?
We're going to be parking right next to these jets in a little bit.
Well, and coincidentally we did. And he said, what are you taking? I said, Cherokee 160. And he just started laughing at me. So I fill up his jet. He leaves. I go back. Me and Tyler wait for 45 minutes for a little pocket of blue to, open up to where I can get on top of the clouds. And he did really good, kind of.
I'm honestly surprised that y'all didn't talk your way into flying on that jet.
Dude, let me tell you something. So I don't have a fear of flying. I don't have a fear of doing dangerous things, and I feel bad even admitting this on a public podcast. I just got to the point where I said it to like some people out loud. I have, ever since I hit that deer. So I don't know if it's some type of post-traumatic stress issue going on, but for some reason, I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack all the time or like some type of health event. And so I get super anxious and freaked out when I feel like I can't be helped. So it's like I feel like I'm going to be up in the air somewhere or out hiking somewhere or doing something and all of a sudden have a health event and then no one can get to me and that's the end of it. So then when I think about that, I start, every time I get in a remote area or a situation I can't control, that's what I start thinking about, and then I just have these panic attacks, and I feel dumb because I've always been the adrenaline junkie my whole life and never been like this. And so this all started recently, and honestly, like all the excuses about the ISDE every year and all this stuff, that's 100% of the reason why I haven't gone, because I was afraid to get on an airplane and go, which is weird because
he got on honestly, probably the least safe airplane. I mean, technically. I'd argue that the airplanes I'm in are less safe than like a big one. So shout out to you, conquering your fears.
To the other side of that, though, when you're up in a jet like commercial flight, you could just like stroke out and fall over against the wall, and someone just thinks you're sleeping. If I had something going on, I'd be like, "Hey, Craig, put this thing on the ground." And to your point, like you said, like we'd be on the ground in 5 minutes. So I honestly felt better because same thing. I'm not worried about a plane crashing. I'm not worried about anything going on in the air. I'm worried about something going on with me and not being able to do something.
That's what he was
about
saying.
it.
He's like, what if I have a heart attack right now? So I will slip this son of a bitch on the I-85, Tyler. We will land. I promise. We will get on the ground.
I'll land out front of the hospital.
I don't give a shit. I will land this thing. So this is honestly the safest. Like, think how long you're going to have to wait for an ambulance. And then you got to worry. You might get the GNCC ambulance guys or the pro motocross medics that are going to break your leg for you. I'll land you safe right in front of Atrium, dude. I'll do it for you.
Yeah. So yeah, we were waiting out weather and already running a little bit late, and we're doing 1 hour Central Time calculations and mixing that up a few times. But we had to wait for the clouds, and then we get up and can't really find a spot to punch through. So then we start backtracking, and we're circling around trying to find gaps in cloud or go around them.
Let's watch what we say here.
To not be in clouds. We never went in, around, or near a cloud.
We had to go all the way north of Statesville, finally opened up, and then, it's only on top of 3,500 feet, you're all good. I was up there just clean as a whistle. But we did have to do some maneuvering to get north of Statesville.
And dude, as dumb as it sounds, like I had some rumbling going on in my stomach. I was like, my spleen's gonna bust. Like we're gonna get up here, we're gonna get to altitude, my spleen's gonna pop. So I'm sitting there and I start freaking out. I'm trying to stay quiet about it, panicking, and we finally, like, after we're backtracking for like 30, 45 minutes, probably not that long, but once we got up to where we were flying, then we're over the clouds, and I'm sitting there. I was like, I gotta be honest with you. Like, if this wasn't a once in a lifetime experience and we didn't have a timeline, like I probably would have asked you to put it back on the ground a little bit ago.
And I wouldn't have.
And so then that was the start of our 2.5, 3 hour flight there.
Yeah. But
is that how long the flight was?
Yeah, roughly. It was there was 7 hours on the plane when we landed. But it is super cool because, we're in a tiny plane, considering. And we pull in to land into Talladega, and they put a temporary tower up because it's not usually a towered airport because they have so much traffic. They have big jets in there. And we land, dude. First thing I see is Dale Earnhardt Racing's CRJ that I see up at Statesville, and then the Lear jet that my boss works on. There's just a line of NASCAR rigs. And then I pull in right in the grass, right by them.
Like Denny Hamlin's plane is sitting there. They're all painted up like these big private jets.
Yeah, and get out. Don't scratch it, guys, Top it off.
So then, panicking a little bit. I'm sitting there playing Mad Skills Motocross on my phone, trying to stay busy and like keep my mind preoccupied. And I will admit I was a little bit scared going there. But same thing, dude. It wasn't about the flight or anything.
That's sick.
It was just everything else going on. So we eventually got there, and you start to see Talladega out the window, and the landing strip for the airport is literally right behind the track. So like when
we're right there.
When we're making our final approach to the runway, we're like banking and turning over Talladega, and then like landing right behind the grandstands.
Y'all got down there like right at the start of opening ceremonies, right?
We were there for 45 minutes before the car started.
Okay, because I was kind of afraid that y'all was gonna get like jet washed by the flyover or something.
No,
dude,
we tried to be the flyover, but they didn't want something that fast going over, breaking the sound.
Crap, I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, so we got and. Oh, to your point, we got there right after probably the only time of the weekend that I needed to be there to fulfill what Stu brought me there to do.
Missed it.
They brought him up on stage, and, like right before the rider introductions, like when they're doing the opening ceremonies, and GNCC is blah, 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 and talking about GNCC, and
not
here's
a
one of the
single
riders,
person in there heard that
Stu
shit.
Baylor. So then he walks out on stage, but they messed up the whole entire thing. So they sent him out. Smoke goes off. The guy's in the middle of a sentence about something. Stu waves at the crowd, walks off the stage, and he's like 5-10 seconds off the stage. And then the guy's like, Stuart Baylor. So like the whole thing was botched anyway. But that's what we were trying to get. So back to it too. When we landed, we get there and we're like, dude, we don't have a car. The track is like, it's close, but it's not that close. And so we're talking to the airport people. It's like, how do we get to the credentialing office? We got to get credentials, and then we got to get to the infield. And they're like, well, I can get you to credentials, but we don't got a car that can get to the infield. So he's like, we can get you there. I was like, all right, cool. We'll take what we can get. So this old man, name's Kenny, bless his heart, been working for the Sheriff's Department for 30 years. We heard his whole entire life story. His daughter owns a Lego store in Hickory. Roundabout towards the end of the day, we made a deal. We have to go get some Legos from Hickory. So he takes us to credentialing. We walk into credentialing like, hey, where are you trying to go? And I was like, here's our passes. Here's what we need. How do we get to where we're going? And she's like, where do you need to be? And I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be on the stage right now. So how can I do that as quick as possible? She's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I'm here with a rider. We're doing some stuff. We did the dirt bike racing stuff. I think he's getting introduced to the crowd. And I think I'm supposed to be there right now.
We walk in, Jordan Smith and Mike Brown are in there, and I'm like,
in the credential office.
hell yeah.
We walk in and
Mount
just
Holly, dog, what's up?
yeah.
Local.
That was the first credential office, so we found out we had to go to the other credential office.
Yeah, which is, right around the corner. The same building.
Yeah.
So you got to go over there. So we got to walk all around this building. But anyway.
So then I'm sitting there. I was like, yeah, we're supposed to be there right now. And she's like, all right, well, what you're going to do is you're just going to take your car and you're going to drive right that way. I said, we flew in. So we
don't have a car.
We don't have a car. She's like, okay, where'd you park at? And I was like, at the airport. We flew in. And she's like, okay, well, whatever car you're driving, just go. I said, no, like, we flew the airplane here and parked the airplane. And she's like, oh, so you don't have a car. And I said, no, the airplane's over there. So, yeah, we ended up going to ride a school bus. We got down there, and then next thing you know, we're in the NASCAR haulers talking to people. And then next thing you know, we're standing next to Tyler Reddick's car on the pole with Kyle Larson right behind him. Crazy experience.
Yeah, and T-Ship's over there. Got to looking around, and is like idle Packer. There's 6 Packers from the.
We haven't even got to the suite yet.
Oh yeah, that's my bad.
No, I was just trying to the whole craziness about flying there and the experience about getting in there. But yeah, then they did the flyover. We go up to the president's box, get to talking with those guys. Apparently, you can't buy tickets for the president's suite. Like, it's not a thing. It's like invite only. And it's me, Cody Groves, Craig, and Stu.
Cody's wearing his Rocky Mountain Red Bear, crew shirt, sweatpants, and dirty Nikes. And he looked at Tyler and goes, I'm a redneck from Maryland, dude. I don't belong here. And I was like, I get it, dude. I shouldn't be here.
And he was wearing that ice cream machine out.
I had 2 ice creams.
Well, what looked more fun, being in that presidential suite or being in the crowd in the stands? Because that looks like a riot.
Can't freaking drink because I had to fly.
Yeah,
so
I
absolutely loved being in the AC. I ain't gonna lie. Like, we could have went out there and let it happen.
I'd have made my way down there.
Free beer there was Busch Light in the damn.
Dude, liquor, beer. And so that was like we went out and about a little bit, had to feel the car, smell the rubber.
Dude, that's a crazy experience. That's my first NASCAR race.
Get a little outside experience.
Yeah, I never did the Coca-Cola 600.
You need to come to the 600.
I'm gonna.
Manchester.
I got a job.
Manchester.
Okay.
Buy a ticket. Call Leanne. Not my mom. Leanne with CMS.
We'll figure it out.
Leanne has CMS?
Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Oh.
But yeah, so to answer your question, the suite had an open bar. It had these giant shrimp that were the best shrimp I've ever had in my life. They had ribs.
Better than your wedding shrimp?
They had the wedding shrimp was pretty good. These were just big. These were just big old giant.
But they had Hunt
shrimps.
Brothers freaking chicken wings. That was crazy.
Yeah, they had chicken
wings. I mean, we ate them, but they weren't nothing to write home about.
They had ribs. They had an ice cream machine. They had hot dogs. They brought out hot dogs halfway through. Like, serve yourself hot dogs.
I was over there eating graham crackers like they're going out of style, dude. I was unreal. I can't believe we could take off how much food I ate.
I'm so jealous.
We walk in, we're sitting there, and like there was more people than there were seats. So Craig and I, like, we're standing there, and I was like, I can't wait, dude. I haven't eaten all day. There's all this free food. I'm eating something. So I grab a plate, and we're trying to find a place to sit down, and we sit over like on the far side in the corner, and
right over top of the AC vent, dude.
It was nice.
That's why nobody was sitting.
Literally
no, it
right
wasn't
over
nice.
top.
It was cold as shit in there.
It was cold. It was cold. But yeah, so there was a guy and like I said, all these people are there for a reason, and we have no idea who anyone is. And like, all I know is the guy we sat down next to, I started making like small talk with him, and we're talking about it and stuff. And like every single person that came in that box walked down the row, made it a point to like tap that dude on the shoulder, like shake his hand and say hey. And then there was some other older lady down in front of us, same thing. Everyone like made their way down there to say hey. So it's like, who are these people?
Did you ask them?
No, I was scared. I was trying to blend in.
So
they own that town.
Does anybody know who it was?
Yeah, it was the Hayneses.
No, that was the other ones.
Oh, I don't know which ones you're talking about. I'm talking about the fellow with the cowboy hat that owns a couple thousand acres right down the road.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, good people. Everyone in there was cool, dude. Cool
Yeah.
as shit.
So then we're sitting there and just get done eating, and Stu texts me and says, "Hey, you ever heard of David Bakhtiari?" And I said, yeah, he's one of my favorite Packer players of all time. He was number 69. I feel like that's important to the situation to explain the type of guy he is. He's Aaron Rodgers' best friend, and at one time he was the highest paid offensive lineman in NFL history." And he's like, "Oh, cool. He's walking right behind you right now." I said, "What?"
You fangirled.
Oh, dude. I was
Stu walked directly over to all of them and just introduced Tyler to all these Packers, and they're like, "Hey," and they talk. They'll hang out, dude. They didn't give a shit.
Yeah. So I was sitting there, and Craig was like, "You can go say what's up to him." I was like, "Dude, I really want to, but like, I'm scared to walk over to him." And then so Stu like calls me over, and he just like pats him on the shoulder, like, "Hey man, this is my buddy right here. He was afraid to come meet you." And so he stands up, and he's like 6'7".
These guys are freaking massive.
And he's like, "What's up, man? I'm David." I was like, "I know." I was like, "Dude, I'm a lifelong Packers fan. Like, I'm seriously like a big fan." He's like, "Oh, you'll get a kick out of this then. That's Josh Sitton. That's Chad Clifton. That's John Kuhn." And he kept going down the line, and I was like, "All them dudes are right there. Like, I didn't see them sitting."
And he's
in
like,
the
"And that's
corner."
my buddy from high school down there at the end."
Yeah. So like, dude, 2 of those guys are in the Packers Hall of Fame. 4 of them were Super Bowl champions. John Kuhn's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. But like, it's all these dudes I like grew up watching, and just how ironic that this already stupid experience that I shouldn't be a part of just happens to be full of Packers players too. On top of the whole thing, I even
And
told him I
everyone
got an
was
Aaron Rodgers
cool as
bobblehead.
shit. Everyone was cool as shit.
Yeah, dude, sat there and talked to us for 30 minutes like we had been lifelong friends. It was the craziest thing. And then, yeah, I guess the other key points is we were right at the finish line. So it was like right at the finish line.
Yeah, we're Chase Hover or Hover.
Carson
Carson. Oh, that's my bad.
Put
I
some
don't know his name.
respect on his name.
Respect, but I don't.
He's a
watch
Jack
NASCAR.
Link's
I don't know anything.
500 Talladega Super Speedway winner.
Well,
First time
everyone's
winner.
First time.
Well, everyone's seen his celebratory burnout. That was directly in front of us.
yeah.
It was
I watched
When
him-
he's hanging out the window.
Gosh, it
Yeah.
was, dude. It
My-
was so cool.
my-
We thought he was stuck. We thought he couldn't get out.
Look, he kept getting his foot
He was-
caught.
no, he's trying to hit the brakes.
Well, he hit
Yeah,
the brakes.
I-
He hit the wall.
My poverty, unprivileged, not invited Talladega self was watching it on the television.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're not.
If it was a normal trip, I know you're a big NASCAR fan. Would have reached out.
Good
No,
buddy
you're not.
Austin Metz says.
But I had to figure out how to be at a party Saturday night in Talladega Sunday morning.
Said, what was more stressful, the flight or being in a setting with Craig where he had to watch what he said? I don't think I watched what I said. I think I was too busy eating all that damn food.
Craig's a pilot now.
Yeah.
He's a
I
different man.
did happen to tell a couple people who were also pilots in there that I flew there, and they said, "Would you fly?" And I said, "Cherokee." And I don't think they realized I was meaning a single-engine prop plane. But I was like, yeah, my plane's out there. It's out there. Where you parked at? Next to Dale Jr.
I will say, and I gave. So yeah, Talladega happens. He does the burnout in front of us. I'm trying not to take up too much time
Yeah,
about
we're going to
this,
zip
but
through it. We got 27 minutes.
it was such a crazy experience we had to talk about. Anyway, end of the night. Can we talk about the landing? There was
Did
nothing,
you see any titties?
No.
Damn.
What landing? Oh, Lake Norman?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so fast forward all that. As bad as I freaked out on the flight down there, dude, I'm sitting there. I'm texting Mindy, and I'm like, "Hey, if I ride with Stu to Greenville, can you come pick me up in Greenville tonight? Like, can you find me a rental car around here?"
Oh, you don't want to fly back.
Dude, I was freaking
He will
out.
fly at night.
Yeah. Well, no, I wasn't even flying at night. I
won't fly at all.
I didn't want to be in that situation again for.
Just to clarify, I
3
didn't do
hours.
anything sketchy. Everything was smooth.
No.
It was.
And I'm
Wasn't me.
I'm getting to that. So, yeah, that. But and so then it was even to the point where like Cody was like, "It's simple, dude. I fly with Craig and I drive your car to the Shoals and pick you up at the Shoals." I was like, "Deal, I'm in." And it was nothing against Craig. It was a great flight. It was perfect. It was just me freaking out. But then on the way back, we flew over like Knoxville, Asheville, like over the mountains, pitch black at night. We got in the air like as the sun was setting after we filled up, and dude, chill as a cucumber like the whole way back because I felt good. Like we'd been eating, had been having fun, been walking. Like it felt fine.
You
So
had
I
the
wasn't.
windows down?
We had the little. Vent
I
holes
did open the vent for a minute. Yeah.
So yeah. So then. So yeah, it was good. We sat there and chat. had all sorts of good stuff going
He
on.
was talking air traffic control.
Yeah, I made a few calls. Cherokee 9709 Kilo. Approach. We're with you at 5,500. I did one of those.
That was the call too. Yeah.
So then
Did you fly the plane?
Kinda.
Are you allowed to do that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean he's allowed to do that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, then yeah.
He's.
I mean, technically you were.
I mean, I was in the air. I was in airplane, so it's legal. It's fine. He was
grabbed
just,
the wheel a little bit.
yeah.
I don't want to get. I've already gotten one person in trouble with the FAA. I don't want to do.
No, we
two.
didn't do nothing. Nothing.
It's
nothing
not
bad.
called a. It's called a yoke.
It's called a yoke.
What'd I say?
Only Planes
A wheel.
podcast. Anyway,
Oh, sorry. Anyway, just trying to be relatable.
25
Okay, then to wrap this thing up, because the flight in itself was an experience. Talladega was an experience, but then so we're coming back. Lake Norman Airport had, you said 150-foot trees,
roughly, yeah.
somewhere around 150-foot trees lining the whole front end of the runway. And you come in over the lake, and then 150-foot trees, and then the runway is not too far over them trees. So it's super windy Sunday night. We're like kind of getting blown around, and it's pitch black. And I found out Craig just like tapped the intercom button on his yoke 7 times, and it turns the lights on the runway on. Didn't know that happened. So I was like, "Is there lights out there?" He's like, "Yeah, click, 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 click," and they come on. So that was
No
cool.
shit.
Yeah.
So then we're coming in, dude, and like it was one of those situations where like, all right, we just gotta let go and let God.
I told
Like,
him prior. I was like, "Hey, this is gonna be probably not what you want.
He said, "You're not gonna like what
You're not gonna
about
like
to
what you're
see."
about to see. So just bear with me." And he's like, "Why?" And I was like, "Remember them trees?" He's like, "You're landing that way?" I was like, "Yeah, that's the best way to land. Like the runway's uphill. Like, oh, okay."
So yeah, it was unsaid, but I knew that we were in for it, but I had full at this point, dude, full confidence. Like Craig is a great pilot. All the stuff that we joke about, like it was a really cool experience, and like he's really knowledgeable about everything. But
Appreciate that.
so we're coming in, and it looks like we are way too high to make it to that runway, and it looks like we are going way too fast to stop this plane. And in the process of me thinking about that, I was like, I'm not going to say anything on the radio. Like, this is a high-stress situation. I'm not going to say a word. And I ended up telling Craig that when he landed. He's like, I was hoping you didn't.
Because I told him coming in, I was like, "Hey, this is going to be a little hairy. So just don't, sterile cockpit." He's like, "Okay,
Sterile.
sterile cockpit."
Yeah, so we were
My plane.
So about the time I'm thinking we're way too high, way too fast, dude. I looked down. I swear to God, that tree was 5 feet below us. And I was in my mind, I'm like, dude, we're about to clip the tree. But anyway, landed smooth as butter. All good to go right at midnight, 12 on the dot. All's in the day's work.
Well, I'm glad y'all made it back. Screw y'all for that whole experience.
Dude, I didn't sleep at all Saturday night. Just worried about the
30,
flight.
38 minutes of laughter.
Sorry about
Fuck y'all.
that.
Jealous.
I woke up at 4 a.m. and Mindy was awake too, and I was like, if I got in the Tesla right now, I could make it. Like I could make it by the start of the race if I just left right now. But it didn't. I need to face my fear. Whatever anxiety, PTSD I got going on, we got to face it. We're facing it this weekend for a 2-hour race on a Yamaha Grizzly, and now we're getting into a roughly 2-hour show on the Pipe podcast. Now that almost 40% of it is gone from talking about on the planes. But hey,
Shout out.
this is where we're at. So anyway, let's dig up some results. How about it, boys? Anything I missed, Craig?
No, that was about it.
DPG.
Y'all missed me. Y'all left me here.
You rode Saturday. You were busy.
Y'all went on Sunday.
No, you were at church.
No.
So yeah, thank you. Thanks, Craig, for the flight. Thanks, Stu, for setting the whole thing up. Another really cool experience in GNCC in collaboration with the whole entire thing. It was a day that I'll never forget, that's for sure. But right now, we're going to dig up some results so that way you don't forget what happened this past weekend. Dimmer's Precision Grading, DPG, they help us dig up some results each and every week. They are a full-service grading company, no job too big or too small out here in the Carolina region. They got DPG MX Compound where they prep and maintain their own motocross track. They do open ride days. They got trails, all sorts of stuff going on. Dimmer's Precision Grading for any of your grading needs, and DPG MX Compound on the social interwebs if you want to see what's going on with that. We're going to start things
Left coast.
out on the left coast. You know how we deal with the Californians. We don't really know what's going on out there, so we just breeze through the results, let you know what's going on out there. Hey, big surprise. Dante Oliveira takes the win on a factory KTM on that number one machine, the reigning defending champion. Good friend of the program, buddy of ours, Mason Simmons, in the number 2 spot on that FMF RPM KTM. And then in the third place spot, Dante's younger brother, Mateo Oliveira, gets it done aboard his factory KTM Husqvarna.
Still.
Shout out.
Wow.
Shout out.
Collaboration.
So gets it. What? So does he ride like a KTM with a white frame,
Yeah, pretty much.
or like a Husky with an orange frame, something like that? Tyler Lynn gets
California,
fourth
Trans.
down in the number 5 spot. Sam Pretschar, on his Honda goes out, takes the Pro 2 class win, good enough for 5th place overall. Dustin Davis on a Husqvarna in the number 2 spot, and an old Yamaha revving Cody Simpson's heart as he makes his way to a 3rd place finish in the Pro 2 class. Taking the Pro women's class win, it was Michaela Nielsen aboard her factory Honda machine. In the 2 spot was Ava Silvestri, getting it done on her Husqvarna. And rounding out the women's pro class podium was Dana Rayner aboard the Three Bros Husqvarna. So that was NGPC. I guess I should have led with that. NGPC Championship. National Grand Prix Championship.
There you go.
Formerly known as AMA Big 6. What are we looking at now? Are we into E-Rock?
This is E-Rock.
So
What does E-Rock stand for?
Eastern
East
Off-Road Championship? Eastern Racing Off-Road Championship?
East Coast, is that one word?
Something like that. Damn it, dude. We should have known that.
Eastern Racing Off-Road Championship.
Everybody knows that is Eastern
God, Tom.
Racing Off-Road Championship.
Quit asking questions we all know the answer to.
This is on the homestead.
Totally didn't do it on purpose. We talked about E-Rock back early before the season, and then we found out they started end of April. So we meant to talk about them again, forgot about it.
Is this the series that changed their class names?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that is an ongoing thing. So the new owners, the McAvoys, Michael McAvoy and Haley McAvoy, they're expecting a child in like a month and a half. They bought the series and they're running it. It's the greater Ohio area. But Baby Mac, super good buddy of mine. He is Grant Baylor's mechanic this year. He was Nelco's mechanic? He was full-time mechanic 2 years. No, that was on Cowie's. Anyway,
We're doing great.
nonetheless, former pro quad rider, super cool dude. But they bought E-Rock, so like showing some E-Rock love out there. They had their season opener this past weekend. Dakota DeVore was able to take the win, the overall win, XC Pro. I think we did change some class names a little bit, so it's a little bit easier to read now. Carlo Clary would get in the number 2 spot, and 3rd place overall, Easton Uplinger getting it done at their first round. Homestead Negley. I imagine that's Ohio. Sounds like Ohio.
Hey, down here, Ben Carpenter from Bergholz, Ohio. That family, they run the Bergholz National Enduro place where they have Aces Enduros, and I don't think they'll have an ANEC, but NEPGs back in the day. He's a good buddy of mine, so shout out Ben for I think it's 2nd in XCA Lights. I think that's what he posted.
Yeah.
Yep, 2nd. So shout out Ben Carpenter. Sean Starkey was talking to him about some Cowie parts. Local boys in here. Hell yeah. I don't know the rest of them, but there's 2 of them anyway.
Heck yeah. So that was E-Rock. Go check out an E-Rock if you're up in that area. Good people, good company, good racetracks going on. Now we head back over here to the east side, happening down in South Carolina. It was the 3rd round of the JDay series, right? Third or fourth? Third? Fourth? Third? Tuesday?
Club.
Third.
Okay, so 3rd. Joey Crown battling back and forth, goes 2-1 on the day to take the overall win. Of course, he was on a Yamaha Club MX. Yamaha, the Club MX suspension technician, Joey Crown. former Supercross, motocross, all sorts of stuff. We're going to chat with him here in about 15 minutes and hear about his weekend. But he goes out there. He takes the win. Ricky Russell in the number 2 spot going 1-4. I didn't see what happened to him in that second moto, but 4th place finish in the second moto. Good enough for 2nd place overall. Tyler Medaglia and Jigs Fustini, they end up 3rd and 4th together, battling back and forth. Tyler Medaglia, a little bit of the broadcast I went back and watched. AG Video, Stoke Media is what they're going by now, Adam Gordon, and in collaboration with Racer TV. Putting out the videos of those the JDays. Got Ian Howes flying the FPV drones, super sick. But on there, you see Tyler Medaglia just run Jigs Fusini wide up over a berm. So I don't know what happened before that, but Tyler Medaglia tried to let him know.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now too. That Jigs, he's correct me if I'm wrong, winning 4-stroke A at GNCC. Some that dude is fast as shit. Like at the JDay at Club MX, he got a whole shot, led the first 2 laps in front of all these guys. And even though you see him here beating last year's champion Justin Coquinos, BK, Toth, I mean that's Rivers. Yeah, that's legit.
He's Luger finished,
and he's like
nice.
He's like 17, 18, 19.
Finishes.
Yeah,
Jigs, he's young.
He's ripper.
But yeah, ripping.
I did watch the first moto. It was pretty cool. Like Ricky and Joey went back and forth, and it was like one of the first times in a GP race that I've actually seen like a moto guy and a woods guy go back and forth, and Ricky obviously better in the woods, and Joey like obviously better on the moto track. So it was it was interesting to watch.
Yeah, he talked about that in his interview too. Basically, like talking about how he could gap him on the motocross track, but then was losing too much in the woods. It was basically like Ryan Sipes at Full Gas back in the day, but in a JDay, and you're doing it every lap.
Head to head.
So we'll talk with him about that here in a minute and see what was going on out there and what his thoughts were. But yeah, defending champ Justin Coquinos in the number 5 spot overall. Why is he not running the number 1? He earned it. Ben Kelly in 6th, Josh Toth 7th, Alex Luger 8th. Big shout out to Rivers Morris, Super Magic Rivers Creek Magic Morris. So, I got discombobulated. You got to get them all in there. I guess they called him Creek on the broadcast. Ryan Sipes called him Creek. So my nickname for Rivers has made the mainstream. Rivers Snapchatted me earlier to let me know about that. But 9th overall, dude, he's ripping. Like that was a good ride for Rivers.
Yeah, and that Alex Fanoof in 10th, he's the one who smoked my ass in vintage. That dude on like an 89 YZ 125 when I rode club. Yeah, he smoked my ass. So top 10. Shout out.
Heck yeah. What about our we got some pro women out there at the old JDay.
And
Suddy. We'll talk about him too.
I was gonna bring up Cole Johnson. He had a nasty one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Woodchuck was out there racing. For the women's class, Taylor Jones takes the overall win. Not only just the women's class, but the overall win as well. Rivers Morris 2nd in that moto. Jason Gilliland, the Woodchuck, in the 3rd place spot. Collier Martinez having a good ride. Mallory Pickard, who I would assume is our 2nd place women's pro rider. And then Kayla O'Neill rounding out the women's pro class podium on her Yamaha in the 6th place spot overall. Gavin Simon, 16th. 13th in the second moto. What happened to Gavin? 27-13.
Yeah, I don't know. He
issues on the day for Gavin Simon, it sounds like.
In the pro class as well. I'll see him.
Well, it looks like a lot of the pros ran that first sportsman race.
Here we go. We're going to shout our boy out. Where's he at? Austin James, also known as Austin Sudreth.
Oh, shit.
They had him on the live stream, and I guess he said, man, on the backside of the moto track, I didn't know they were going to have me on camera. He said, I was getting arm pump. I just kind of started slowing down, and they called me out. They said, looks like he's getting tired out there on the motocross track, and he's got him a little bit fired up. But, I'd gotten a text Sunday.
Overall, look at him.
I'd gotten a text Sunday from Eric Geese, and he's like, dude, Suddy's a damn rock star. They got him all over. I think he's the only one hitting all the jumps out there, so shout out Austin James. Young Austin James. He said, I need to talk to somebody and see if we can swap out last name because ain't no one know who that is. So.
But, yeah, he was doing all those with Cole, and and Cole got landed on first moto.
At JDay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was pretty nasty.
Cole who?
Johnson.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. I didn't hear about that.
I don't think it's still up.
Speaking of that, we went off the rails with On the Plains podcast, as Rivers Morris pointed out by saying about time we got into results. Now I feel bad about giving him so much praise for his ride
chill
this
out,
past
Crick.
weekend.
Chill
All
out,
right?
Crick. We ain't got time for you.
Crick, we're about to dam you up. All right, how's that sound?
Crazy thing.
But I forgot to switch over. Or at the beginning of the show, got a little bit excited. Want to give out T's and P's. Obviously, keep Cody Barnes in your thoughts as you go throughout your week. Still haven't seen a public release on what is going on with him. So just a bummer all around, especially the year that he's been having and what he was in position to be able to do this past weekend. So be thinking about him. And then also T's and P's to Jared Bolton, the trail boss out at the GNCCs, laying out the tracks, and really a big part of what keeps that GNCC wheel turning and all the stuff that Bolton does. His wife Kayla is the media manager for Racer X or MX Sports as well. But, I mean, Jared, he helps with Pro Moto, he helps with SMX, he helps with GNCC, works up there full time. He's a North Carolina boy, big NASCAR fan, and he ended up posting, I think, Monday morning after the Kentucky races when I saw it, but he broke his humerus out on the track pre-riding
It was after the show, so it would have been like Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was after that.
That sucks.
Because, yeah, I had no idea about it.
Dude, that's
I didn't hear about it over the weekend, or else obviously I would have said something on the show last week. But
and that's a shitty bone to break. I've
especially
broke
where he
mine.
broke it.
Not as bad as his. Just looking at the X-rays, but I broke mine kind of up near the top of it, and yes, it's luckily mine was a clean break. They put 2 pins in it. He's got a lot more hardware than I do, but it's not funny. It's not very humorous.
Well, that's what his post was, is broke my humerus, and it didn't take long to find out that wasn't very funny.
No, it sucks.
But yeah, pre-riding the track and going down a downhill. It rained Saturday night, so it was a little bit slick. He ended up going down, broke it like right at the top, dude. Like looking at the X-ray. Such a bummer to see, especially like you can't find too many guys like nicer and cooler to talk to than Bolton. Oh, look at that, you got the scar. And Paul Alley says, is it Bolton or Bolton? Pretty sure his mama would say Bolton or Bolton, but he's become Bolton.
He used to have a website, I think, that was Bolton.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so T's and P's out to him. Obviously, T-Rex back home now. He was in the hospital for a while. I mean, until after the show, had his last surgery and was able to get back home from Nashville. So he's still got a long road to recovery with his broken femur, broken pelvis. So be thinking about him. And is there anybody else we're missing? That's why I don't like starting any of these things, because it slips my mind. So no disrespect if we are forgetting somebody. But just wanted to get that out there. It was in our notes, but we kind of breezed right through it. We're going to get through some of these results, and then we'll talk to Joey Crown in about 7 minutes. Starting things over here, the U.S. Sprint Enduro was going down this past weekend. They were high voltage.
Yeah.
Yep.
So high voltage up in West Virginia, PA area. Grant Davis ends up going out there and getting the win. Toby Cleveland in the number 2 spot and the winner of the Pro 2 class. So Toby Cleveland continues to be putting on a good run this year. 2nd place overall, 1st place in the Pro 2 class. Cooper Jones, 2nd place in Pro 2, 3rd place overall. So 2 of those Pro 2 guys breaking onto the overall podium. Down there in the 4th place spot overall was the number 7 of Josh Strang, friend of the program. Been a long time since we've seen him at a Sprint Enduro, basically since Full Gas. Like Full Gas split, and I don't think we've seen him race a domestic Sprint Enduro setup since. He's been to ISDE a couple times since then. But he goes out there, enjoys. It sounded like he enjoyed the weekend, enjoyed riding. 4th place overall, 2nd place in the Pro 1 class. Craig DeLong rounding out the Pro 1 podium. Brody Johnson rounding out the Pro 2 podium. And then in the middle, the Pro-Am boys, Colton Shields, 6th place overall, the winner of the Pro-Am class, Will Sievenpiper in the number 2 spot, and Swole Cole Whitmer, 8th place overall, 3rd place in that Pro-Am spot. As we take a look at our women's pro riders. Brandy Richards getting it done once again. Her and Danielle McDonald have been having battles every weekend. Doesn't matter the format. Doesn't matter where they're at. Those two girls have been battling this year. Brandy Richards edges out Danielle McDonald this past weekend, and Danielle McDonald in the number 2 spot aboard her Yamaha. And then Lily Sheets rounding out the women's pro class podium also on a Yamaha. So, yeah. And didn't get a chance to talk to Strang. Obviously, everything's been a blur, but I imagine, so Jack Walker races the ANEC series, the National Enduros, and Cody Barnes was going to the sprints and having a good go out there. We had him on the show and was kind of talking about it. And so I imagine with Cody Barnes getting injured, is that, and you might know, and if you don't, then that's fine too. But when I saw that, I was like, man, that's strange to see Strang out at the U.S. Sprint Enduro, and he's doing pretty good. I think he got second on the day, first, or maybe that was the Pro 1 results. Yeah. But I saw he had a pretty good ride, and I was wondering, I wonder if there's an obligation to have beta representation out at 3 different series. So I wonder if we'll see him doing the rest of the U.S. Sprint Enduro series with Cody being sidelined.
I don't know. I haven't talked to him much. I do think it was a little bit more simple than that. I think there was already some hotel or whatever booked, and they said, "Well, we'll just
you don't use it, you lose it."
It's kind of funny. Even in Alabama last year for the last National Enduro, there was one of the mechanics were out for a wedding, or they had something going on that weekend, and it was kind of cool seeing Josh step in directly, go straight in the mechanic role for the weekend. So kind of liquid over there at Beta, just kind of liquid Molly over there at Beta, just cruising around, a man of many talents.
Dude, where's a lot? I mean, you'll see it. He's building his own bikes. He's building other people's bikes. He's
changing tires,
managing the team. He's putting in the work over there for the. I know the Beta boys in California got to be proud
for sure. And I did talk to him just a little bit, but it seems like not doing the sprints as much. I think he might have said that in his post. It's hard to find that speed edge at those things, like when you do them all the time that you have, and he's on up there in the years, and old man hanging it out a little bit. Not as natural as the 3 hour races, but
I think just last week or the week before celebrated 37,
38,
38, turning 38.
Old
Josh
dog.
Strang out there still getting it done,
Danger
dude.
boy
Battling
Strang.
up there. Shout out. But yeah, I didn't think about that. Already got everything booked. Van was heading down there anyway. Let's make a day of it.
I think that was more the deal than maybe obligation. There might be. I mean, I don't know that if there is or not, but should it be cool if there was? It seemed
XC1 rider, team manager, and now fill-in rider.
Go try to make some extra money.
Yeah.
Well, looks like he was able to do it. I think it looked like his boys raced a little bit out there as well. So cool weekend. We're gonna dial up Joey Crown, talk with him. I don't know if we got Mid-East results pulled up, but boy, we got a video from the finish line of the Mid-East Hare Scramble Series that we're going to talk about. We'll do it after we chat with Joey Crown out here, but it looked like a battle coming down to the wire. We'll save that one for the after show. Craig, if you can dial up Joey, we'll get him on here and chat with him. But yeah, I want to let you guys know, I was on the phone earlier with Zach Tussle with Raymond James Financial. He's a racer and a financial advisor. He can help you win when it comes to retirement and financial planning. Go to TussleInvestments.com or just reach out. You can get his phone number. You can find his social media. You can DM me. I'll give you his contact information if you need it. And, see what he can do to help you out, whether you're saving for retirement or you're already retired and need to figure out how to spend that money while still making money through your retirement. Zach Tussle can help you out. He helps out a ton of racers, a ton of riders, and I think couple, 2-3 people in this room. Yeah, hit him up and see what he's got going on over there. But for now, we're going to welcome in our guest this evening, coming straight off of a JDay overall win, going 2-1 on the weekend, and a whole bunch of other stuff going on. Can't wait to hear about it. Joey Crown, man, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for joining us. We do this little woods racing program every week, and so obviously JDay making a big spectacle this year. They got the Racer TV. We can watch the races, see the battles, and see everything going on out there. And we saw you going out there and having a good year, really, out at the JDays, but then coming off and getting the win this past weekend.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool series they have. They made their way kind of down around this area, and I've always seen it up in the Northeast, and figured I always thought it'd be fun to do. I do enjoy, racing a little bit at GNCC off-road stuff, and then my background's more, racing motocross and supercross in the past. So the JDay series is them both kind of combined with, running the full moto track and in the woods. The club was a little bit more just moto with a little bit of enduro cross in it, but yeah, it's a fun series, and look forward to doing maybe some more.
Sweet. Yeah, I want to get into some more about how the race and stuff went this weekend, but it's kind of cool to have some new people on here. Like, I've never spoke with you before, but obviously seen you from afar and seen your former career with club and doing some stuff overseas and all sorts of stuff. But like, I guess for the listeners that are unfamiliar with on the wood side of things, and obviously you've raced some GNCCs and been all over the place, but what is your background, and I guess what's your role now at club that you've been working down there?
Yeah, I started racing motocross when I was young, and
yeah, very open-ended question. Sorry.
Yeah.
yeah, you're good. I won't go through the whole life story, but raced amateur nationals growing up and did pretty well. I had a Team Green ride with Monster Kawasaki, and then turned pro in motocross in 2017, and I also did a couple GNCC that year for the first time, and then got onto the club team 2018, racing Supercross and Canadian motocross that year, and then that led into the following year Supercross, and there's been lots of injuries. I didn't get to race too much when I was with them, but I got a few top tens in Supercross in 2020. Scored a bunch of points in outdoors. Not for them, unfortunately. I was, like I said, hurt a lot. And then I did kind of the sparked my top 10 in Supercross was 2019. I won Red Bull Straight Rhythm, and that was pretty big for me in my career. Kind of was the underdog, so to speak, and that got me into racing Geneva Supercross, and I won that as well. And then that kind of re-inked my deal for 2020 with club. There was some issues in 2018 where I left and then got back on the team, and 2020, 2021, I ended up getting hurt in Daytona. Then got back to racing the end of that year, and I was preparing here at club for Paris Supercross, and got in a bad crash. Made a little mistake in whoop section. Jumped into the straightaway, and Enzo Lopes is right there, like third, fourth gear pinned. T-boned me, and yeah, I shattered my elbow, broke my humerus, or my rotator cuff, shattered my eye socket, broke my nose, fractured my skull. Yeah, I did a bunch of damage. Thankfully, like, they were able to piece my arm together with like 30 screws and 3 plates, and I kind of figured that was going to be the hardest thing to rehab. And then they did have to put a plate underneath my eye to get it back in position. And they made it sound like that was no big deal. Um, then after a few weeks, I ended up having to have another surgery because the first surgery didn't stick. And then the doctor said after the swelling goes down, you should be good. You should be able to see fine. Swelling went down, and then I had double vision really bad. And that kind of left that doctor a little bit puzzled to why. Which led to other scans, seeing other doctors, and they were like, you need more surgery. And I went I'm just going to try to do eye exercises, like, physical therapy on a muscle. I just treated my eye that way and got to where it improved a lot. And, everyday life, I didn't have any issues with it. But when I want to ride my mountain bike or ride my dirt bike, I still couldn't see with both, get double vision. So for 2 years, 3 years, I rode with one eye covered.
That's crazy.
I didn't.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was maybe a little bit dumb, but I'm not gonna lie. I did a couple races with one eye covered. I did Day in the Dirt down south. Well, one eye covered. It was a little sketchy, but it was so much fun to race my dirt bike. It had been, um, I think it was 2 years at that point when I raced that race, and then which a little bit my tie with off road. I end up at the Shoals for a couple years training and coaching, and I heard they got me into this. You got to try this sprint enduro stuff. So I gotta give that a try. So I did a sprint enduro with one eye covered. I actually ended up winning the 25A class, and got me all stoked and fired up. Like,
Was that out of full gas?
It's good. Yeah.
You passed me on the outside. You got a bad start. I was in that class with you, and right sweeper, and I was like, who was that hitting the outside, the flat outside, full tilt? And then you got like third overall that day. And I was like, who the hell is this dude? He just smoked our ass, running 25 plus. So
Yeah.
that was rude, but it was cool.
Yeah.
Damn.
Sorry about that. I'll be nicer next time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you didn't take me out, but by God, it was cool looking to watch. It was, holy shit.
Man,
Thank you. I might have had two eyes at that point. I only did. I'll say
That
that.
makes me feel better.
Yeah. I did two races with one eye covered, and the first race I won 25A, and then the next race I forgot which one it was, but the woods were way tighter than I was used to, and I was on a straight motocross setup, and well, actually that weekend I borrowed a bike for chasing contingency, and then I won the cross test, and then the enduro test. I was kind of getting beaten up, and I was riding a little bit over my head. I ended up popping out of a rut and hitting a tree, and I fractured my kneecap. So that was the end of the one-eyed bandit, I guess you can call it. But so I was done trying to race with one eye covered, and then fast forward to that summer, I started playing with this prism sticker. I had a doctor put them on my glasses, and I got to where I was like, I could mountain bike with them and not just straight cover my eye. I was like, I wonder if I can get another sticker and put it on my goggles. So I gave it a try, and it didn't quite work off the start, but eventually my eye got a little bit better, and I was able to ride some slower woods, and I could use both eyes and be okay, and eventually got better and better. And that led me to doing a couple GNCCs and that summer, using both eyes. And then I did a couple local motocross races that fall, and kind of started back racing again. I was hoping that was just like a temporary thing, and unfortunately it hasn't been. I'm still having to run that press-on sticker prism on my goggles and on my glasses when I mountain bike or hit dirt jumps. So it's not perfect. When the track's pretty choppy, my eyes I can get a little bit blurry. And if I ever have to duck for sun, I have to close my left eye because I get double vision. So I try not to duck. But
You're still
yeah,
going
so
pretty damn fast.
Yeah, dude, holy shit! Just thinking about like we were just talking about the Club MX race, and like you sending it off the single kind of right there, coming back towards the little GP track, and even how technical that GP track was. So knowing you got double vision and you guys were riding the way you were, especially you and Medaglia going back and forth those motos, it's pretty gnarly. So
I can't do it with 2 eyes.
hell, I can't do shit with 2 eyes.
But no, and I saw the interview that you did on JDay this weekend, kind of describing some of that, and you made mention about the prism. What is that prism? Like, what is the sticker? Or what is it that you put on your goggles?
yeah, well, when I race for the most part, I'm not seeing double the whole time, so I can, say that I'm not going this fast, seeing two routes when there should be one. But I do have my goggles here. I was gonna maybe show you. I don't know if you guys can see
Oh,
this
hell
or
yeah.
not, but
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I was hoping I can hold it in front of me and maybe it would make
Oh,
you
yeah.
have double vision. But
It looks like it's got like kind of lines through it.
Like a med.
yeah. See, when you see my face, how it's split.
Yeah.
Kinda?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not seeing that usually because it's correcting my double vision where it's giving you guys double vision. But yeah, those lines is what allows me to ride, being able to see with 2 eyes.
I hope they sponsored you because I bet you go through lenses like a son of a bitch, and I'm just imagining that those things are not $3.99. So I hope they help you out.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. They're like $80 a piece.
Holy
Um,
shit! I bet your
yeah,
goggle
so-
prep is all time.
Yeah, I can sponsor plug this, but I try to use the tear off gaskets.
Shout out Evan.
Yeah, Evan Smith. And to help protect my lens to make them last longer because that's it saves me a lot of money if I can extend the life of the lens. I can reuse the sticker does come off and I can restick it, but it's every time I do that I can do that maybe 3 times and then it
Loses
doesn't
it.
work. Yeah, work very good and gets bubbles behind it, and then not only am can see double at times, I can barely see through the lens. So
I think
it's not good either.
I think you kind of alluded to a minute ago, but with that thing having like the horizontal lines going across it, like if you're at an angle, your head's tilting. Does it still transfer with that, or does it kind of create double vision if you get off axis a little bit, or do you not really notice it for as long
When
as
you're
it
talking
is?
about ducking, I think he's what he's alluding to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I mean, usually my head stays relatively level. Like if I'm turning to the left, I'm tilting my head to the right. So, or vice versa. So my eyes are pretty level. And it does kind of correct with my eyes, but it's when if I duck down, the issue I have is my left eye doesn't want to go up all the way and stay with my right. So that's when I have to look up. My left eye kind of droops a little bit, where this helps correct it some, but it corrects it for a certain field of view, where if I'm having to duck my head for roost or for the sun and look up, I get double vision, so I just have to close the eye and just work with that instead of seeing 2 objects. It gets way too confusing.
Is that a similar injury to what Weston Pike had? Or is it completely different? Do you know?
It's similar in like the structure damage, but like he shattered his orbital, and but his was much worse. There was some damage to his eyeball itself as well, where thankfully for me, my eyeball was fine.
Yeah.
It was just the bones around it, and kind of the issues that I have now are more stem from like the scar tissue from the injuries and the surgeries kind of stick in the muscles, and it's not allowing them to move where they're supposed to move and work properly, I guess. But thankfully I got that to where it helps. But
Yeah, and you kind of changing subjects, getting off the injuries, but you had mentioned that you did a handful of GNCCs. It sounded like did, and I have no recollection of this you doing them. I'm sorry, but did you run the XC1 class and do the 3 hour? Or was it a sportsman class in the morning?
I've never done a sportsman, but in 2017, I did XC2. I did 2 rounds. First one was really bad. The second one, I was fast. I went from last to third in the first lap because my bike didn't start, but then I continued to crash like 7 times.
Hell yeah.
Was that in Florida?
That was Camp Coker.
Okay.
Man, I bet you'd rip in Florida. As long as it wasn't
Yeah.
like Sink City, like as long as it wasn't super nasty.
Well, I think you got, what, 34th overall this year in Florida?
Yeah, I
Oh.
was
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
in the 30s this year. So I raced 25A.
Damn, get out of my class,
and,
dude.
you know,
Golly. He's got a club shirt on, and he's just picking me.
yeah. Well, I think me being a part timer, I think that allows me to
Fair enough.
to do that.
Working man's class.
Yeah, working man's
Yeah.
class. Paid by the team,
Yeah.
just not for the same shit.
yeah. It's for the 9 to 5 work, not the after hours.
How was that actually transferring from 2018 to 2021? You're riding for them, and you get a relationship with everybody. And then you said you were at the Shoals, and for some reason I was thinking you were at South the Border there for a moment training. But now being back with club, it was, I think, November was about the time you started there, if I might be correct there. I checked on your Instagram. But how was that getting back? Was it just kind of like being back with the family? Did everything just feel right as soon as you came back?
Yeah, I was at South the Border for a few months last year, so you were correct on that. But yeah, it was pretty cool coming back here. It's like a lot of the same people were still working here. They got a lot of new people, but I had met them at different times throughout the absence of me riding for them, just at races and whatnot. And yeah, it was cool. At first, it was like a little bit rough getting into the flow of things, but it clicked. I mean, after a week of being here, kind of fell into place and knew I was at home again, and pretty cool being back here and on the team. Just obviously a lot different role now than I was before, but it's cool seeing the progression. And I mean, it's like when I started on the team in 2018, me and my teammate had 2 bikes and like very low parts credit. I mean, we're out of a corner of a pro shop. Now there's a big shop. I mean, there's the engine department, me, the suspension department, bunch of bikes and parts, and it's pretty crazy what they've built, and nice to be back a part of it again.
Yeah, that's actually what I was about to ask you. Just you always hear like different interviews, like when Brandon was on Gypsy. Like everyone talks about the progression and how good the bikes are nowadays, especially when you guys are all racing against full factory efforts. That was actually my question: was what all you've seen is progression, and I think you just clicked on that there. So it's super cool even for us we've only been there for practice days and that JDay. And you pull in, you're like, holy shit! Like it don't get no better than this. Like Chad Reed's dogs shitting in the yard over here, right? And then there's little kids on Surons running the 12 o'clocks up there. I'm like, dude, this is it right here. Like this is a legit training facility. So it's super cool for us just to see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's grown a lot. Like, I mean, from then till now, they're building, cabins and houses, and they got a new gym going up that's going to be like second to none, and the shop, and yeah, it's growing a lot. And then the staff this year is grown for like the race team side of things, hiring me, which they had a suspension guy before, but now with me, they're getting a suspension guy and a test rider, which they've never had on staff before, like a test rider. And then they have a crew chief, a designated crew chief now. And every rider has a mechanic, and then Greg's in the engine department, and they have a full dyno room. Greg was in there for most of today trying things and trying to make any gains they can. They're always thinking of things and trying things, and I'm doing the same thing on my motorcycle. trying to get the suspension to work better for the guys and learn and try to get all the guys feeling more comfortable and doing the best they can do.
That's sick. And so, like, I'm good buddies with Ben Graves out there. So we're hour and a half from you right now. We're out near Lake Norman, so been out there quite a bit, rode there over the years. But just kind of to your point, how much it's grown and how big it's become and how legit it is, like with the cafeteria, with the gym, with all the trainers, all the staff, everything that you mentioned, how much it's growing. How much of that change have you seen since you were riding for the team versus now? Like how big of a difference in the program do you think it is overall, just in that 5 years, 6 years, whatever it was?
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, it's hard to really put it in words, but like when I was here, there was no big race shop. I mean, we were in a little garage um, that didn't really have enough room for everything, so we had to have our own garages to store practice bikes, and it was hard to have a full-time practice mechanic. Sometimes we had to do a lot of our own bike work, and um, then just the facility itself with, I mean, from when I first started, uh, where the Supercross pads are now, that was an outdoor track. That was the practice track. Like if you've seen pictures, you would be like just amazed at how much dirt they moved to build this Supercross pad. Now it has two full Supercross tracks on it. And then now where the practice track is, like that wasn't even a thing of club, and now it's its own big facility. Um, so yeah, it's growing, and then with having, like I said, the suspension, in-house suspension now, and motors. Like, I mean, we consult with Twisted Development and REP, but we can, if you want to make a change, want to try things, I mean, we can do it. Like today, like we were testing a little bit, guys felt a little off. It's like, all right, let's do this. I ripped the forks apart, made a change. They went out and tried it. Um, when I was here, there was none of that. Um, when when I was here, my dad was doing my suspension. They let that happen, which is really cool of them. So there was times where I could do that because he was here, but the rest of the guys, they were running Enzo towards the end, and so they'd have to send stuff out, or on occasion, a suspension tech would come in and they can make changes. Similar with motor department, it was hard to make changes as quick. Where now we can, make changes less than a day. So, and then there's the resources. Like we have a lot more resources and stuff I can build extra sets to try, and I don't have to worry about taking away from what they already have. So where before that was pretty limited. So yeah, it's as close to a factory team as you can get. I'd have to say, like it's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, we're team Blue Crew over here. Yamaha presenting sponsor of the program, so we're big fans over there too. But Craig had another question for you.
So going from riding there 18 to 21, now you're working there. You're getting to ride now, and obviously you're getting to ride and you're getting paid to ride. Does something like the JDay series that you guys are riding, does that kind of scratch the itch? I'm sure because you've been a racer your whole life. It was probably a little bit of a hard transition time to go doing from racing to training or now suspension tech. Is this something that kind of is it a feel good moment? You're back racing. It might not be supercross or outdoors, but does this kind of do it for you?
Yeah, it helps a lot. And I mean, I I did a few pro nationals last year. Wasn't fully prepared going into it, but I just wanted to do it, and I did, I think, five of them, and I was like around 20th to 30th usually every round, and it was just kind of frustrating. I was getting my teeth kicked in every round, um, to so to speak, from where I was before, and some of it was just fitness and whatever things. But doing this JDay series, it's, I mean, there's no higher class at JDay. It's professional class, and there's legit guys in it, and having the racer TV, um, it makes it feel pretty cool. And it's nice being kind of in the limelight a little bit, and be like I said, be racing legit guys. I'm not racing 25A at a GNCC.
Not racing Craig.
Easy, bud.
Yeah,
Easy, dog.
yeah. So no disrespect, but yeah. So racing guys like Ben Kelly and Ricky Russell and those dudes that when I've always kind of paid attention to GNC a little bit. So I those guys are legit, and I was coming into this weekend. I knew it was going to be a little more woods, and then when I saw the course, I was like, oh man, this is way more technical than I thought it would be. There's like, in those wood sections, like national enduro type stuff. I'm gonna weave in through tight trees, and that's not in the favor of a motocross guy with motocross suspension. So I was for sure worried a little bit coming into there, and um, that's why you kind of saw a little bit of um, my sense of urgency in the opening lap before I got into the woods on the moto track, because I knew I could make some stuff happen then, and then try to just maintain in the woods, which I felt like I did pretty well doing so. But
You must have. Hell yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's really cool doing this, and it gives me motivation to, like after work today, I got on the road bike and did a 22-mile cycle. Like it's I'll do that anyways, but it's an extra motivation to have that goal, to continue to do well at this little series.
So it sounds
It's
like
pretty
you're gonna.
fulfilling.
Sounds like you're gonna do some more of them.
Yeah, I'll be at the next one for sure. Um,
Where is it?
Lake Sugar Tree.
Oh
I think
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
2 weeks. So yeah, I'll be there. That's not too far away. Then I don't know about the next two because they're up in the northeast, so that would be pretty hard to get to. So
How is that with
might just beat
work?
these two, but
Or is Club MX pretty obviously you're winning. You won. Top 3 at club. You got second at club. Is that correct?
yeah.
How's work? They love it. Like they're like, dude, as long as you're getting your stuff done during the week and you're going out with the Club MX bike and winning, I'm sure it looks good for them. So I mean, how is it for work?
Yeah, they've been good about it. I mean, they are keeping a close eye on me, making sure I'm getting everything done to be able to do this. And I think they're coming around to realizing like it is a decent deal, me winning these things and being on the podium. I think at first, like they're come from the motocross side,
Yeah.
they're not too familiar with off-road and how it is. And honestly, I didn't fully know how big the JDay stuff is. And like this weekend after winning, I see Transworld is posting
I saw
about,
that. Yeah.
yeah, and Cycle News is posting. There's all this social media, so I think they might come around to liking it even more. Um, and like I say, it's advertisement for them, and um, I like it. I'm having fun doing it, and yeah, as long as I show up to work on Monday and fill my responsibilities, it gets all right. That's where the ones in the up north it will be hard to get to because of work. And I after Sunday doing 2 40-minute races, I drove back to the club, got back here 10, 11 o'clock, and I was in the shop before 8 the next morning working all day. So,
Dang.
but yeah, so I got my work done. So they're happy. I got my bike all cleaned up. So yeah, they're okay with that.
So obviously you're down there around a bunch of motocross, supercross, working with all the club guys, and I'm sure all kinds of amateurs that's there. Do any of those dudes like talk shit about you going and doing these woods races? Like obviously you get it and how gnarly the GNCCs are, especially and whatnot. But do any of those guys like, oh, you're going to a woods race, it's lame, and then you're like, nah, dude, it's pretty legit. And then the second part of that is, do any of them want to go do any of them with you? Like who you think you could drag out to do one of these things?
Yeah. I don't hear too much. I mean, I've heard it at times throughout the years of me racing off-road stuff. But I think they see it, and then also what helps is Ben Kelly and a few of the KTM off-road guys train here, so they see how legit those guys are on a motocross track. So that's gained the off-road, a lot more respect.
Right.
Seeing that, and then me, they know I'm not like training day in and day out, so they see me go win a race, like they think it's cool. But and then I have this past weekend, actually two of the trainers came and raced. One of the trainers raced the one at club, and I think he won Open A. And then he came out this weekend, and then the other trainer, I dragged him along. I had no one to go with me, and I was like, "What are you doing this weekend?" Nothing. I was like, "Oh, come to JDay. It'll be fun." And he was all stoked and thinking, it'll be easy. He almost signed up for pro class. Like he's a good motocross rider.
Who is
He's
it?
never ridden woods. Jonah Smith. He's a newer trainer to club, but he was like, I might as well race the pro class because they pay, top five, and I should be able to get top five. And then he saw Ben Kelly roll in, and then I saw, Josh Toth and a few other guys. I'm like, dude, you might want to race a different class. So he signed up for Open A, and man, after the first race, he was like, man, that was so much harder than I expected. Like he did not, like, it was way harder than he thought. How tight the woods were. And he said, dude, I kept bouncing off trees. Like that was that was so tight in there. But now it's cool. He's fired up now. Like he wants to get a 125 and race the series next year in the 125 class.
Hey, there you
So
go.
yeah, he's fired up. He's might come to Lake Sugar Tree if he can line it up, but he's like, man, I got to get redemption. He's so yeah, he's fired up, and I can see more and more guys getting into it because it's such good training. I mean, even if you don't have any aspirations of racing off road, I mean, where in motocross, amateur motocross, are you going to be able to go race 2 30-minute motos in a day? Like you
Yeah.
can't. So it's great training and building your overall technique and skills. Navigating through woods, picking lines, working through the roots and the rocks. And granted, you're not going to see roots and rocks on tracks, but at motocross tracks, at least good ones anyways, but bumps and whatnot, being able to have that bike skill.
Well,
And I think it all correlates.
well, who on the Supercross motocross team? I mean, that's what we want to know. Who out of there can you drag out?
Well,
We gonna
someone drug somebody out. I don't know how. I mean, he signed up for it, and I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. There was
Yeah.
Max
Yeah,
Boland was at club,
Yeah.
and he rode the first
Yeah.
moto. So it was crazy that
Yeah.
he was in A class.
Yeah, why did he sign up for A
Crazy,
class?
he was in A class.
Yeah, well, that was he like the classes. He didn't know what he was signing up for, and like when I went and signed up, I was like, "What's the pro class?" I didn't see pro. It was double A or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And and it was super last minute. Like he
Yeah.
wasn't racing until like 30 minutes before the race. It seemed like maybe an hour because his mechanic had enough time to swap his suspension from motocross or supercross to motocross before the race. And then I think second lap he on the sand track like fell into a tree or fell, and I think the one tree that's out there, and bent his radiator, and his radiator was leaking. Yeah, so
The one tree,
the bike overheat.
The one
Yeah.
tree in a field, the moto guy finds the hit.
Finds it.
Imagine that.
Yeah. So ended up overheating the bike. So then they shut that down because they had to do a motor swap, and they weren't going to do a motor swap. And it was just supposed to be for fun. And ended up costing kind of a lot. So
Does that back GP track get rode? Like, obviously on practice days it's open, but like, do you guys go out there and do drills, or do the pro guys go out to that? Because it's a pretty gnarly track. Obviously, your guys' outdoor track's huge. The Supercross tracks are big, but there's just something about a tight sand, like whooped out loop like that. Like if they were out there doing 20s on that
Yeah,
thing, like it would suck. So that gets rode then. So like
Yeah,
those guys
yeah,
get to ride it.
yeah, they do ride it. It's every other week, every couple weeks. It really depends on the weather, because it is pretty sandy, so it's hard to get enough moisture in it. You know, us motocross guys are kind of all babies when it comes to that kind of stuff. So it's got to be prepped and watered, at least watered, not necessarily prepped. But so yeah, it's not used super often, but the winter time when it's raining a lot, you use it a lot more. And yeah, it gets gnarly. It was Miguel, our track guy, beefed it up for the JDay, like built those rollers up to make it extra hard on everyone.
Oh yeah.
You yeah, usually it's not quite that gnarly, but it will get rough for sure. It's pretty sandy, and it's got a base in some spots, so it makes it pretty tricky.
Hell yeah. Pretty slick.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm good.
yeah. And then they have a whole other sand track on the other side of the property too. So if it rains too much, that sand track's too wet, they have a whole other sand track. And then yeah, and going on with the building thing, I didn't even bring that up. They have a whole woods loop now for the KTM off-road guys, and which is pretty cool. I've done a couple laps back in there,
Yeah.
and
Hell yeah. Training, son. JDay training.
yeah. I did do like a 45-minute moto out there a few weeks ago.
Nice.
So yeah, trying to sharpen up the wood technique a little bit.
There we go. Well, cool, man. Really appreciate you taking the time out to chat with us and join us. Wanted to talk about more of the JDay, but we got into everything else, and just a super interesting conversation, and kind of hear all the things that you've done and hear all the stuff you're doing down there at club. But yeah, man, can't thank you enough for the time.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. I had a good time talking to you guys.
Sweet. Likewise, and look forward to seeing you at the next JDay up there at
Lake Sugar Tree.
Lake Sugar Tree. I always want to say Silver Creek. Bollinger's place up here is Silver Creek. I get Sugar Tree and Silver Creek mixed up. Anyway, you get the point.
Yeah.
Good job this past weekend. Look forward to the next one. And if you're ever at a GNCC again, we'll stop by, say what's up, and maybe we can get out there to the club, one of these open houses or something, come ride a little bit. But
Yeah, sounds good.
appreciate the
Have a
time,
good
man.
one.
We'll talk to you next
dude.
time.
See you, Joey.
See.
So that was Joey Crown.
Interesting.
That was a
interesting
cool conversation,
story, yeah.
dude. Yeah.
I didn't realize, because I knew he had an eye issue, but I didn't realize how gnarly that, like, all those injuries were. It sounds like he got smoked.
Yeah. I need to ask him about that, the name of that. I think he said it, but then he said that he wasn't sponsored. He had to pay for it, so I didn't want to ask him to say it again. So I'll text him because my older brother's got that traumatic brain injury, and he's got real bad double vision, and he's tried to wear an eye patch, and it didn't really help him. Actually, my mom texted me while we were talking about it, said that he needs it. But yeah, I have to track one of them things down. But it was cool to see. He kept saying
prism something.
yeah, he kept saying it was some type of prism, and I was like, I kept wondering, like, what does that mean? Is it like a kaleidoscope?
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Like-
But it looked like a window screen, because I know you mentioned the horizontal lines, but there was vertical lines too.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, so there was all sorts of
Then I
different
asked a
directions.
dumbass question about turning his head. Well, when I ride a dirt bike properly, my head stays straight up. I was like, oh yeah, that was a dumb question. I'm sorry.
I thought the same thing, but
I was
that was a pretty stupid question.
The way that I think about it.
Well, even that, his head and the goggles moved together. So, is that not how that works?
Well, what I'm saying is, like, if you had,
yeah, his goggles are attached.
No,
to
I'm
his
saying
helmet.
as far as how the prism works, like he can move his head as much as he wants, but the horizontal, like the way everything goes, I imagine it would be the same. I thought.
well, so like, I didn't see vertical lines. I saw
Yeah.
horizontal. So
It
I
was
was thinking, if
it
you're
was a
looking at
grid.
that and you turn your head, it's like, you ever look through polarized lenses, like polarized sunglasses. If you turn them, it goes black.
Hell no.
Because the way that the material is, if you're looking at them normal, you can see through them. If you turn them sideways, you can't see it. I thought it was something like that. So if you got off axis,
if you
or
have
doing
them on
something,
your head and you turn your head sideways, you're still looking through them the same way you are with your head up.
it was a dumb question, dude. I'm sorry.
It was a dumb question.
It's just in my mind. I was sitting there thinking about it. Made sense at the time to me.
Good thought, but dumb question.
Sorry.
It's okay. It happens to the best. of
Hillbilly Smash Mid-East this weekend. Last weekend.
There was some hillbilly smashing going on.
Is that were you able to pull up? Oh, you got the results. Jonathan Johnson gets the win 2 corners from the finish line by stuffing the shit out of Michael DeLosa right there at the finish. Saw the
Are you signed in on yours?
yeah, but I can't share this screen.
But can't you slide it across to that one?
No.
Well, here, let me help Craig out. Go to Instagram.
So
Let's look at the results and we will.
all right.
You want to do the...
That's fine. So say that jokingly, lovingly. Obviously, good buddies with both of these young gentlemen and Mideast legends. Both former overall Mideast champions, battling down to the wire out here, and both on Yamahas because I mean, what else would be out front of one of these races? But Mike DeLosa posted this video, and the caption was like "almost had it" or something like that, and it is Jonathan coming up the inside and like absolutely taking him out. And we were talking a little bit before the show, and I guess Michael DeLosa has been contacted about this, and evidently he does not think it's very funny. And I think if I was Michael DeLosa, I wouldn't think it was very funny either. But I had to get stirred up a little bit because that's battling down to the wire, and we're gonna try. We're gonna try to pull up the video the best we can.
I will hopefully be at the next Mid-East because I would love to watch it. I just want to watch. I'm not gonna race it. I want to go watch.
Yeah.
Just in case.
See if we can pull that thing up. Ethan Harwell got third. I saw that. I didn't see anything past third.
I did see that Dustin Simpson got beat by
Hold on. Watch. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Go to
Oh, go back.
click the OTP logo up here where it says pause. Click that. Click T-Shep 704. Now go. Try that.
Oh yeah.
Let's check your DMs.
Oh.
Did it work? Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
We're in there. What were we just talking about?
Checking your DMs.
I forgot where we were at.
This is how I used to get on Instagram when I first got mine. I didn't have a smartphone because my parents didn't trust me. I had to get on here like I guess right here. All right.
Click that.
Yeah, 2020, 2021.
Hey, you're playing the YouTube video. You got the live stream pulled up
Where?
on the other tab.
Let's see.
Go 4 fingers up. Oh. Yeah. We're
Damn.
gonna figure it out. Bear with us. Technical
Here,
difficulties.
just hit pause.
Just click in the middle of the video. It'll pause.
I turned the sound off, Craig. See, now you don't know what you're doing, do you?
I don't know where Instagram's at.
I know. Give it back to me.
4 fingers up. There we go. All right. So this is off of Michael DeLosa's. What does it say? Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Almost had it. So this is Jonathan on the left coming up the inside. That's DeLosa on the right, who DeLosa's coming in first. Jonathan runs it up the inside, punts him off the track.
And you can see him instantly throws his hands up. He's pretty pissed. And they're boys, or were boys.
Yeah, I think they were.
I don't think they're going out to ice cream anytime soon.
But when you talk about, I mean, you're battling. Mideast does pay pretty good, and they're battling down to the wire to get that last one. I think both of them working men, both of them trying to make every extra dollar they can out there on the racetrack.
Looks like it.
But yeah, so obviously I wasn't there this weekend, but every time that we've raced there in the past, you're coming up off of a bridge from right there. So you come through the sand section down by the river, you go across the bridge, and then you come up and into scoring like that. So that thing had to have been set up before they got across the bridge, and Jonathan just saw that gap. And I'd be interested to know if Jonathan, like, somehow thought that some way he could make a clean pass there, or if he was just going for broke and running it up the inside. I'm sure Joyce is in here. Maybe she can tell us what's going on with it.
There wasn't a lot of room there.
And I want to know what Jeffrey had to say about that.
Or what Jeffrey would have said if it didn't happen.
He's probably a good thing that he wasn't there. Was at the GNCC? No, there wasn't a GNCC. He was
I bet he was probably there. Or the sprint.
Or the sprint. That's right.
Oh, yeah, because Brody was racing at the
At the
sprint.
Yeah.
I think Brody's the favorite. They probably were at the sprint. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey,
The blonde-headed stepchild.
shout out Dustin Simpson getting beat by a schoolboy kid.
Oh, yeah, who you get beat by?
Gavin shit on him. Gavin Harwell absolutely took a dump on Dustin Simpson's forehead.
Hey, be careful. Dustin's watching along right now. I got a Snapchat from him already. Who did he get beat by?
I know exactly what he just
Gavin
said.
Harwell?
Them motherfuckers, he said.
Damn, he got beat by a 14-year-old.
A 14-year-old just posted an Instagram video of him swan diving with full gear in
In a swimming pool.
Was Gavin on the Super Mini?
I doubt it. I think he's on a 250F.
Or was he on the 250F? No, he's in Schoolboy. I don't think he could have been on a 250F.
Schoolboy is class only, I think, huh? I rode Schoolboy on a. Well, was it?
Might be age.
Well, they created like a random Schoolboy class for people like the Harwells and like Jonathan Snyder would run it and stuff. Like the fast kids that can't race anything higher than a B class but want to race the afternoon. Kind of just fill into that Schoolboy class. But Gavin Harwell, dude, top 10 overall. That's a pretty good
Yeah,
ride.
it's sick.
Nash Pearson with a 9th overall. Nash has been ripping. Colby Goodman, top 5. Levi Elliott, 4th. Is Levi still on the betas? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Colby Goodman, he's super young, too. I think he's like 15 or 16. 5th overall. Ripping. Is he still on a Yamaha?
You just dropped your vape?
Drop my phone. I don't vape. Just
Oh,
kidding.
so now we're lying.
Just kidding. I try not to. I'm trying to quit. Maybe we should do it on pull that thing on camera so I can get public shamed into
Bradley
quitting vaping.
Chapman with the A-Vet win.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Broken leg. What?
Easy.
Nothing. Going out there, getting it done. Easton Harvey, out of the morning race into the afternoon. Welcome to the big leagues.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I watched Taylor Glenn at the North Carolina last weekend. There was 2 trees. Or 2 weekends ago, there was 2 trees. You come down a hill, kind of jump
I've
back
been
into
there.
a field, and there was 2 trees just like this right here, and there was 2
trees.
two big roots in the middle of it. And he freaking wheel hopped and tried to bunny hop him, and he caught one, and the back end went over here, and the back end went over here, and he turned around and started laughing at me. Holy shit! I was like, golly.
That didn't feel good.
About died. Oh, he's fine. He didn't wreck. It looked really cool, though. Yep.
Heck yeah.
That's all we got.
Couple things from the weekend. I forgot to pull up JDay points, but I imagine Joey Crown's got to be like somewhere up in the mix, especially after winning this one, podium both of the other 2, right? Second
no,
at
he didn't
club.
do Florida.
Oh, he didn't race the Tuesday one. Had to work. Gus Reardon was the overall points leader going into JDay.
How do you find points?
And Gus was not at the race this weekend. Now, the announcer, or I think they said on the broadcast that Gus was hurt. And that would be news to me because I don't think Gus is hurt. Is Gus hurt?
I sent him a message, and I said, they said you're hurt. You good? And he said, still winged. I don't know what that means.
It's a hell of a thing to say.
That's some damn Australian slang shit
Yeah,
right there.
I had no idea, so I don't know what that means.
Still winged. Did he
Yeah.
hurt his shoulder?
I don't know. I
Hurt his arm?
literally that's all that I got.
Oh, so he is hurt.
Oh, so Ben Kelly's leading.
Imagine we'll see him this weekend. Here's the JDay points. Ben Kelly currently leads the way with a 3.46. And Jigs Fustini in the number 2 spot, ready to capitalize. 58 points to 43 points. Ricky Russell, 3rd place with 47 points. Ricky Russell missed an entire round. Joey Crown, 4th place. He's got 2 rounds logged as well. He should be tied with Ricky. Yep, I was looking a 2-1 and a 1-2 for those 2 guys. Tyler Medaglia, 5th, after you break the tiebreaker for 3rd. Gus Reardon now falls down to the number 6 spot. Oh, Thad Duvall didn't race. He raced the first 2. So I'm not sure why he wasn't there this weekend. And then back to the T's and P's, Evan Smith. I think he might have got shaken up a little bit from what I understand. because he wasn't out at the race. And who was
Osborne.
Yeah, Zacho wasn't there. I don't know enough about the Evan thing, so don't take my word on that. Probably shouldn't have said that. I don't know.
We were told that.
Yeah. So if
T's
there
and
is
P's
some,
for Buddy Evan.
if there is something,
Me,
T's and P's. He's got some.
badass Volkswagens apparently.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a hell of a conversation.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, just an interesting thing throughout the weekend. Let's address one other situation.
Uh-oh.
I thought this was kind of odd. It got sent to the group chat. It made the America group chat with the boys. Pull up them points right there, Craig, if you don't mind.
GNCC.
Now, this past week, there was a story posted with Jordan Ashburn with white plates, which signifies the points leadership. That kind of caught us all by surprise, trying to figure out what's going on. And let me first start by saying, Jordan Ashburn is one of the nicest humans on earth. I love him, love his family, everyone, all of them. But so I was wondering, and we got the deep diving and chatting about it. When you look at this, is XC1 points. These don't exist. This isn't real.
Have you looked at the rules this year?
If you listen,
Did they change?
No. If you listened to any of our shows last year, you heard us beat this into repetition that the rules say XC1 points will be decided off of overall points. Therefore, XC1 points might as well not even exist, including the 2023 XC1 champion, Stu Baylor. He was not the XC1 champion because XC1 points don't exist. So Jordan and Ben are tied in XC1 points, but if you go to the overall points, which I think is right next to it, the top 20, oh, you might have clicked out of it on that other one. If you go to the overall points, it's Ben Kelly still holding on to the lead, 99 to 96. Jordan Ashburn in that number 2 spot. Liam Draper in third. So Ben Kelly is still the overall points leader, which is the XC1 points lead. So I wonder, like, maybe they were prepping for the future. Maybe they're calling their shots for the round after for Powerline Park. Because surely
They don't show up with white plates.
a fella that's won 24 GNCCs and I think a GNCC championship, right, Fred? Fred won a GNCC championship, didn't he?
Yeah.
Wouldn't show up with white plates this weekend. It's the hometown race, and you are tied with XC1 points, so maybe. But I don't know. It was just one of those things that kind of struck me as odd. As soon as it got posted and sent out, I was just kind of confused at what the thought process was, or maybe, like I said, they're staking their claim for the next one. But I wonder if we'll see 2 bikes out there with white plates.
Yeah. Be interesting. Yeah, I thought it was weird. It caught me off guard for sure. And also, while we're talking about it, I'm not a fan of them running the Dale Earnhardt 3 font, except for like Talladega. But I think,
Why not? I kind of like it.
I think it's dope.
I mean, it looks
That's
cool.
so sick.
It does look cool, but he's not Dale Earnhardt.
Well, neither is the number 3 car that was at Talladega this weekend, but by God, he's running it.
Yeah,
I don't know who that is.
Austin.
Austin
Dillon.
Yeah.
And Wachowski's is like the Dale Jr. 8.
Yeah, they did that. So I went back and looked. They didn't do it at Camp Coker, but they did it at the Hazard or the Duke. The Duke. Sorry.
The Duke was Hazard.
Yeah,
This,
but they did it there, and obviously the white plates were that font. I don't know.
I think it looks sick. I like it.
It does look good,
'Cause-
but it's if you're intimidating the intimidator at Talladega.
he wasn't there.
Intimidating, is that the right word? Yeah, not intimidating.
What's the
The Intimidator
impersonating?
wasn't
Impersonating the intimidator, like it makes sense to do it as a kit at Talladega because it's a theme.
So what about Watkins Glen?
Well, yeah, it might be
NASCAR
fine.
track.
Yeah, it's fine there too. But to run it all year is just
Let me tell you what I like. Or
it does
what
look it does look good.
It looks cool. And like, you can kind of see that's what they're going for. What drives me nuts is when the numbers are too small.
Yeah.
Like, especially single-digit numbers, but even double-digit numbers when they're too small on the plate. So I think what I like about Jordan's 3 is that it
big.
fills the whole plate. Like, you see it. So I do like that. But, yeah, I did notice the reverse italics, Dale Earnhardt lean on the 3.
Yeah.
I like it. Keep it.
That's just my opinion. Everybody's got one. It's like an asshole.
Yeah. But
the white plate is not. No, they're
You
dropping.
can't-
They're
can't do
missing the boat on that one.
can't do that.
No.
And that's the thing.
Surely, what's her name won't let that happen.
Who?
Rita, or whoever.
Carrie.
Tim, Carrie Jo, Rita, whatever.
Yeah, I
Whoever
don't
it
know.
is.
Because, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong, but XC1 points don't exist. And that's the thing, too, is, like, Jordan is a former champion. Jordan has been around the sport for a long time. I don't think he would make that call. You know what I mean? Like, I think he knows where things are at. I don't know. But this is his hometown race. We talked to Chase Landers last week, who said that Jordan lives 15 minutes down the road from it. This is a place where the Jordan Ashburn fans come out and about and get loud when Jordan Ashburn's coming around. It's a place that he's won at. It's a place he's done good at. It's another rough and technical track, just like we saw at the Dukes, where we saw Jordan have a good ride out there. And so I think Jordan is in play for a really good weekend this weekend. But I had that in the notes just to kind of talk about, like, what was going on here? I don't know. Going into this weekend, I had pulled up last year's Old Gray results. I think it was Ben Kelly that got the win. Grant Davis ended up finishing second. Both of those guys, good technical riders as well. So I think they'll be in the mix. I know Grant Davis, just like we were talking about before, I think he's at another point where, like, after the last race, I think he's got a statement to prove. I think he's got a kind of chip on his shoulder, and I think he's got a little bit added reason to go out there and do good. So I think he'll be good this weekend. This is a track that Stu Baylor has done really well at in the past as well. We saw him and Jordan Ashburn battle down to the wire and have a Mike DeLosa and Jonathan situation coming into the finish a couple years ago. Is this last year's Old Gray?
Yeah, 2025.
So Caleb, his first visit to the podium, no, because he was second in Florida.
Yep.
His return back to the return of the podium with a third last year. Ricky Russell was fourth. Cody Barnes was in fifth. So, I don't know, just kind of an interesting thing to kind of pull it back and look at it from last year. Last year was the race that Stu, I think, was in the lead, and he blew his radiator hose off. And it was the pit stop video where he comes in and radiator hose, and they tear the whole bike apart and get it all back together. He went back out there and got 12th, but yeah, hopefully we'll see them Cowies make it to the finish line this weekend. I think those boys could have a good race. Nick DeFeo, top 10 overall last year. Bummer we're not going to be able to see him racing this weekend. Grant Baylor will be there. Stu Baylor will be there. Josh Toth will be there. Caleb Wood will be there. Collier Martinez, Logan Reniger, all the
Matt Chamlin.
the Cowie boys. Matt Chamlin will be there. Tom will be there representing Kawasaki.
Hey, if none of them finish, I will. Well, I shouldn't have said that. I just jinxed myself. Nah,
I got a KX252 stroke at the house if you want to borrow it.
Yeah, I'm out. No, just going up there to ride around.
I need to see if I can pull some string, get you on Yamaha. You want a 250 FX for the day? Little Yamaha arriving ride. Keep the blue crew going through the weekend. That thing damn rev the hell out of your heart, boy. I'm trying to tell you.
You get one of them 450s in like you keep talking about. Now we might be talking. I'm a little big to ride a 250F, boy. I'm just saying.
How about a 125? I got one for you.
Definitely too big for one of those. I did see your 500 rolling down the road in Mooresville. I was sad to see that.
Rest in peace.
That
We got more.
That thing was sick.
It was
I was
all right.
looking at it. I was like, damn, Craig did a pretty good job on that thing.
It was all right.
And he sold it.
Dang it. Everything's for sale.
Shit's expensive these days, bud.
Yep.
Be on big old 700 this weekend. I'm kind of pumped, dude. I think is the morning quad race is at 11, right? It's not at 10. I
no.
think
10 or 11.
You should
I think
see if
it's
they
at
can get you one of them like couch cushions on the back where you can kind of lean back there, maybe put a beer in the cup holder and shit.
I wonder if they'll let me like zip tie a cooler to it.
I was about to say that.
Pull up somewhere, start throwing out stuff, throwing out drinks.
Oh yeah. All I know is if there is a mud hole and you don't go right through
Right
the middle of that
through it,
thing in
dude.
full-wheel drive.
Here's the thing. I know the Yamaha fellas listen to this podcast. It just earmuffs for a second. If I'm on a 4x4 quad that I'm not going home to wash, and there's a mud hole, I'm going through it. I want the full
When was the last
4x4
time-
experience.
When was the
Better put
last
on
time you
roll-offs.
raced anything?
Do
When
what?
was the last time you raced anything?
The Tanneray.
No, I think the last race that I raced was
Battle of the Goats.
Koscheck's last full gas.
Mm.
I went and raced that. But before that, it had been
The Tanneray.
You've raced twice in the
No,
last 5
'cause-
years.
that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I would have raced anything else because obviously
Battle of the Goats on the KDX was
that was
19.
before all that.
2020?
Yeah. I think that was 2020. And then the Tenere, I raced it before I broke my leg on it, obviously, because I never rode it again after I broke my leg.
Yep.
Sold it with my blood still on it.
Shout out.
But then, yeah, my leg was broken up. I think maybe the only thing that I've raced since I broke my leg was that one full gas at Outback.
And now you're racing a quad.
Now I'm racing a damn couch, boy.
Yay.
Damn Yamaha Grizzly.
Nah, have you seen those like toolboxes that go on the back to make a second seat?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, dude.
Well, maybe you can get one of those, and then we'll just tandem ride
it'll
that
fl-
thing.
it'll
Dude, can
It'll-
we ride two up around that thing? That would be so sick.
you boys better hope there ain't no hills out there. You're gonna fall off the back.
No,
No, that thing will keep digging.
I'll climb to the front, sit on the racks.
We're doing this for marketing. You know
Is
what
there
I mean?
racks on? Is there racks on it?
I think these are like the sport ones. I saw pictures of them before, but it slipped my mind. I went through, like, I combed through their pages trying to find, because it doesn't look like a regular Grizzly. Like, they build it, it looks like a race quad. And, like, I know Johnny Gallagher raced one, and, like, some other,
Oh yeah, there it is. Click
some
on.
other guys raced them. But the one that they have for racing, it looks different than a normal
Does
one.
it look like that one?
No, I think that's AI.
That's a damn Wolverine, son, or
Thanks.
Timberwolf.
That looks like a Banshee clone.
Literally
Is it this
says
thing?
2024.
WR700.
Oh, look at that! Look at that guy getting like 2 foot of air.
3 feet of air that time. I don't know, bud.
Scroll up.
I'm pretty
Scroll up.
sure you're on a
It's
freaking.
probably keep going up.
Nah, there's a picture of
Probably
it somewhere.
No, that one's got racks. Maybe
It's
that's
got
2020.
Oh, that's the older one.
This has got to be it right here.
it's got like super tall bars and flex mount or and flex bars on it.
That's got racks. Thing's got some mud grabs on it too, boy.
Yeah, you better not try to drift this thing. You're gonna catch and go just right over the side.
What is the WR700?
That's what I just clicked on. That's this shit, or this.
You sure?
Yeah, look at it. Same front end.
No, it's different.
It's pretty.
Um,
You better not drive that thing through the damn hood. Them boys take them hubcaps off that thing.
Ooh, you gonna wear that jersey?
The only set or the only. Yeah, you finally get to wear your FXR gear. Like actually wear it and not just.
I
Trail
it was-
ride camera.
Well, that's
you
what we were
said
talking about. I
damn
think we were talking about
overalls.
I said I don't think he's gonna do it. He's gonna be wearing damn FXR gear.
Dude, I used to have some America overalls that I wore to Destinations, but they got left at Destinations.
That's
It'll be
crazy.
sick. So anyway, I'm pumped up about it. What you racing the morning race?
Yeah, Sportsman A.
Heck yeah,
Yeah. We'll go out there and give it a go.
sweet.
I'm serious about the camera thing, though. Is
Is there anything else? Anything
the-
else that we missed?
I'll be the film man. We can plug it in at the start of the race recap, or the end of it, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah. Is that all of our notes?
I think so.
Kind of crazy. Tebow wasn't at the Mid-East this weekend.
He hasn't been to any of them, has he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here in North Carolina 2 weeks ago.
He's done a couple Mid-East. When I talked to him Saturday, his bike had no suspension.
Legless.
Yeah, no legs.
He's got that Yamaha. He has a Honda now, but
It's for
he's,
sale.
Hmm.
No. He's riding red,
what he wants for it.
Little black on red,
all black.
black red.
It's all black. White handguards.
All right, cool. Well, I guess with that,
Any YouTube questions?
I think there were some new ones that just got dropped in there.
What we got? Ansley, what's he saying?
He has nothing productive to ask the room, but how long until Craig has a shuttle service to the races via plane? Too late, bud.
It's already started.
It's already happened. You're late to the story. We went to the NASCAR races and we flew to Farm 14 last weekend.
2 weekends ago. 3 weekends ago.
Yeah, a while ago. And next weekend, flying to Budds Creek, Maryland, to borrow Brad Barnes' YZ450 and race the Tour GP on Saturday. Arrive, earn a ride. Shout out.
Fly and ride.
Fly and ride. Hope I don't eat shit. That's going to be a rough flight home.
Yeah, that's what happens if that happens. It's a little different than having someone drive your van home or you're driving your truck home.
I call somebody and they bring Skinny, and Skinny flies home. Seems pretty fair.
How'd they get him up there?
It's a 2-hour flight. I bet someone will offer. It's not far. Maryland.
What else you got, T-Shep? When are you going up? Friday?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going Friday morning. When are you leaving?
Friday sometime. Mindy going?
Yeah, and her parents.
Taking the camper?
No, we got an Airbnb.
Nice.
Jesse asked what the cost breakdown is.
It's
Avgas ain't cheap.
It's not cheap, but if it's playing correctly, like we thought we were going to get it for $5.19 a gallon, which is pretty good. And then I checked right before we took off, and they were out of fuel. So, I think we spent.
Talladega charges $250 for just landing at the airport.
Yeah, that was bullshit. They charged the other guys $800. The big planes.
No.
Cost breakdown roughly $300 for the fuel to Talladega and back. So.
And $250 to land.
Yeah, but I don't really want to add that because that's like a one-time thing. That's usually not like that. And if you land at an airport and they charge you, usually they'll waive it if you fill up with fuel.
Did they?
I didn't fill up with fuel, and they wouldn't have waived it anyway because it was $200. It was an event thing.
When he dropped me off at Concord Airport the other day on Saturday, they told him that he had to pay a landing fee, and he's like, "Well, if I just turn around and leave right now?" They're like, "You're probably good then." So then I just walked in and Craig left.
I ain't paying shit. Concord.
Craig's got this app. It's kind of like Waze, but it's called Fly.
Stay away from FBO.
And it tells you where all the cheapest gas is. So he just circles around until he finds cheap gas.
Yeah, I got to go to Mount Airy
It's
tomorrow.
It's kind of like T-Shep going on a road trip in the Tesla and having to find charging stations.
Well, when you're paying for your own gas, it makes a whole lot of sense.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't. It's just
Talladega was like a dollar more, dude. We were running on fumes. We had like 5 gallons, 10 gallons.
More than 5 gallons.
We didn't have a lot of gas, and so we flew. We didn't want to pay for gas at Talladega, so we flew, backtracked. We went west, went to another airport. To fill up.
So we landed, and they said, "Hey, it's $6.38 a gallon here. Do you want us to fill you up?" And I said no because the one 20 miles north was $5.19 a gallon. And then we get ready to take off. I have enough fuel to get up there, and I go to check in the NOTAMs, which is like a notice to traffic, it's like or notice to airmen's. It like tells you like things about the airport. No gas, and I was like, shit. So I asked the guys over at Talladega, I was like, "Can you fill it up?" And they're like, "Yeah, it'll be like 45 minutes." And I was like, "Okay, I ain't waiting on that." So I flew from $6.38 a gallon. I could have got there if I would have just had them fill it up prior. Flew 5 miles, 10 miles west, and it was $6.60 a gallon. And I was like, well, shit. So that was a headache.
Bad call.
And then my credit card didn't work that I always use. They freaking they bounced it. They said that like they thought it was fraudulent. So they keep doing that shit because I'll be Myrtle Beach, and then I'll be in Talladega, and then I'll be in Martinsville, Virginia. And can you guys just give me, if it says air on it, just freaking hook me up. If it's gas, hook me up. Anything else, flag it. So
that's the truth.
Roughly $300.
I think Jesse's wanting to know so you can take him to a race or something.
I'll take him. I'll fly down there and pick him up. I ain't got nothing to do.
Building hours.
It's my job. Also, Eat Commies 1375 asked if Klotz is still in business. My uncle bought me this shirt. I've quit running Klotz whenever I got power valve engines because they come up power valves.
But are they still in business?
I think they are still in business. Yes. And they smell so delicious. This is I don't want to say that. I think my dad called it the fruity oil. And I think he was alluding to gay oil. But it does smell fantastic.
What are you doing over there?
I dropped my ring,
Oh, well.
but I got it. All right. I think that just about covers it. It's 9:10. Big fat hen. I think we're going to get out of here. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate you listening. Appreciate Yamaha for being a part of the program and letting us race a four-wheeler this weekend. Pumped to do that. When you're shopping, me and the mouse in my pocket. When you're shopping, RockyMountainATVMC.com. Use the link in our bio or wherever you're listening to this at. Click that link. Shop as normal. We get a little kickback from it. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you shopping the Rocky Mountain ATVMC. Hit up Zach Tussle with Raymond James for all your financial help. DPG, Denver's Precision Grading, and their motocross compound. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Joey Crown, for coming on the show. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Tom, for being here.
Yep.
Appreciate y'all, boys, and we'll see you this weekend at the Old Gray, and we'll see you next Tuesday to chat about it.
See you.
Bye.
See you.